interrupt our regularly scheduled program for some breaking news. We take you now to Louisville, Colorado, where our field reporter, Holly Wood, is talking to a local resident. Holly!
Yes, I'm on a Zoom call with Professor Moore and her family at their home in Louisville, Colorado. It appears that just a few nights ago, the Moore family had a unique encounter that took place right in their own house on Garfield Avenue. Professor, can you tell us what you witnessed?
Well, 'twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring.
Not even a mouse.
That's right, son, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care.
In hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be here.
These are two of my children, Benjamin and Margaret.
It's very nice to meet you. Did all of your children witness this, Professor?
Oh, not all of them. Most of them slept through it. These two are my lightest sleepers, so they were up at the very first sound. Most of them slept in their beds all night. Isn't that right, dear? This is my wife.
It's nice to meet you too, Mrs. Moore. So your other children were asleep?
Yes, indeed. The children were nestled all snug in their beds.
While visions of sugar plums danced in our heads.
Sugar plums?
Yes, I've been baking, and the children are eagerly awaiting Christmas when it's our tradition to put out our cookies and cakes and other treats. In fact, I saw someone trying to steal a sugar plum when he thought no one was looking.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
What happened then?
Then, out on the lawn, there arose such a clatter. I sprung from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash.
That's when Ben and I woke up.
Were you frightened?
No, just curious.
The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to the objects below.
So even though it was nighttime, the moon reflected off the snow in such a way that you could see the objects clearly?
That's right, it was beautiful.
Fascinating. Go on.
Then, what to my wondering eye did appear?
A miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer.
Tiny reindeer?
Yeah, these reindeer weren't large like those 350-pound caribou they have up north. These were small, more like the size of a fawn.
That is small. And they were pulling a sleigh?
Yup, with a little old driver, so lively and quick.
We know in a moment that he must be Saint Nick.
More rapid than eagles, his reindeer they came.
And he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall.
Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
What happened next?
Well, up to the housetop, the reindeer they flew with their sleigh full of toys.
And Saint Nicholas too.
Then, in a twinkling, we heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each tiny hoof.
As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound.
Astonishing. What did he look like?
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
His eyes, how they twinkled, and his dimples, how merry, and his cheeks were like roses, and his nose like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow.
And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. Yes, like a wreath. Thank you, dear.
He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby
And plump.
A right jolly old elf.
And we laughed when we saw him in spite of ourselves.
a wink of his eye.
A twist of his head.
Who gave us to know we had nothing to dread.
That's a relief.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings.
And then turned with a jerk.
And laying his finger aside of his nose,
And nodding his head.
up the chimney he rose.
Wait, He entered the room through the chimney, and then when he left, he went back up the chimney. He exited the house by going up the chimney.
I know it sounds crazy, but he used the chimney for both his entrance and his exit.
Okay, is that all?
No, not at all. He sprang to his sleigh and gave his team a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle.
But we heard him exclaim as they drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Fascinating. Well, there you have it. A remarkable story of a remarkable visit from a remarkable character. It's important to report that at this time, authorities have yet to confirm the sighting, but Professor Moore and her family are unmoved. They are convinced that they received a visit from none other than St. Nicholas himself on Christmas Eve. I suppose the rest of us will never know for sure. This has been Hollywood, zooming from the home of Professor Moore in Louisville, Colorado. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Holly. That was an interesting report. And now we return you to your regularly scheduled holiday plans. This is CenterStage Theater Company wishing you all a happy holiday.
Guys, we can continue. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and lifted up the sash.